Hello and welcome to another episode. In today's episode, I am going to be teaching you CSS media queries. But before we get started, if you are new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also click on the ring bell. That way you will get notified every time that I upload a new video. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Okay, so let's get started. So to get started with CSS media queries, let's have open the same website we've been using so far, which you already know, it's w3schools.com. Now you're going to go to the CSS section. You will scroll all the way down to CSS Advanced, and there you are going to find CSS media queries. You will click on that topic. As well, I have opened the same website we've been working with so far, which is our welcome page in our previous lesson. If you want to check that out, you can visit our previous chapter. I'll leave the link in the description below. Okay, and then finally, I also have open here the CSS code we've been working so far. So the first thing I'm going to do before I start explaining media queries is that I am going to be cleaning all the style I have given so far to this sheet, and I'm also going to clean all divisions right here. Okay, let's hit save, and let's make sure this was applied. Boom, perfect. Now we have a blank website that we're going to be working with. Okay, so what is CSS media queries? CSS media queries is something very important that you're going to be using if you are a web developer. The reason why we use media queries a lot is because if you are designing a website and you want that website to be looking fabulous, either if it's on a laptop or on a cell phone, you definitely need to make sure that the content looks good on both. So with media queries, you're able to style your website to look good either if it's on a big screen or if it's in a small screen. So what media query does is that it allows you to change your content depending upon what type of device you're using to watch the content of your website. So let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit, and I'm going to show you the media query syntax that we are going to be using today. So here is the syntax. You're going to add always, if you want to add a media query, the symbol @ and then media. Okay, you start with that. Then here you're going to add a not or only operators. We are not going to work with those today, just so you know. I think this will be better if you have an understanding of variables and a little bit more of advanced CSS, we could call it. So when we get to JavaScript, maybe later on, I am going to make more tutorials on this. But for now, just so you know, here sometimes you will see a not or an only operators. Now the next thing you will see here in the syntax is a media type. Then you will see the word and then in parentheses you will add an expression. And then obviously we are going to introduce in these two brackets the CSS code. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some media types. So here are different values. The value all, which is used for all media type devices. The print value, which is used only for printers. Then you have the screen value, which is used for computer screens, tablets, smartphones, etc. And then you have speech, which is used for screen readers that read the page out loud. Okay, so those are the values. Now today, the value that I will be teaching you is going to be the screen value, because that's the most common one when we're coding. Okay, so let's take a look at the first example. So let's go to our code. To the body section, we're going to apply a background color of light green. So let's do that. So to our body section, let's go to style. Let's say that to the body, we are going to add, okay, so here the background color is light green. So we're going to set up a background color of black. Okay, that's going to be our default body. Okay, so now that we have a background color of black, which let's go ahead and test it out. Okay, let's make sure to save both pages here and let's hit refresh. Boom. So now our body background color is black, right? Now I want to make this change if I resize my window, because if I resize my window right now, nothing happens. You see? it's still black. So I want to add a media query so that when I resize my window and the width is 480 pixels or wider, this is going to change to a different color, okay? So let's do that. Let's add a media query here. So media, okay. Let's go ahead and add a screen, and let's input here the minimum width. So looking at the example here in CSS, they added a minimum width, and this is the rule, the minimum width of 480 pixels. Okay, so we're going to do the same. So if the minimum width, okay, let's do minimum width is 480 pixels, then something is going to happen, right? So here is where we are going to apply our style. We have now the rule, right? Okay, so if the media screen minimum width is 480 pixels or wider, then what we are going to do is add the style in here. So to the body, we want to change that body color, okay? And we want to make this, let's say that the background color is going to be pink. Okay, so let's hit save. And let's go back to our welcome page. Now, if I hit refresh, you see, since it's wider than 480 pixels, now our body color is pink. Now, if I resize my window and it goes to less than 480 pixels, let's do this and you'll see. It's going to turn black, watch. Here, you see? So now the body color is black because this means that my screen width is less than 480 pixels. But if it's 480 pixels or wider, then it'll go pink. So if I go ahead and I do that, you see, it's turning now to pink. So that's a first example of a media query. That's how you can use your media query to change your screen color and some other stuff. In fact, I am going to give you just one more example that will be very useful if you are, let's say, designing a nav bar. Okay, let's go with that one. So what I'm gonna do first is clean my style again. Okay, let's do that. Let's hit save here. And well, the body's already clean, so let me just hit refresh. Boom, so let's go back to white. The first thing I'm gonna do, so I can show you another media query example, is create a nav bar, okay? I'm going to make a very simple nav bar, no big deal, just so you guys know. Don't think I'm gonna make something crazy. This is just an example so that you have an idea in how to use your media query and then play around with it, okay? And experiment a little bit more on your own. So, going back to our code, in the body section, the first thing I want to do is add a div. Okay, now to this div, I'm going to give it a class. And the class is going to be, let's say, typically I'll use navbar, but in this case, I'll use nav example. Nav example, okay? There we go. Okay, so to this navbar, to this division with a navbar, I am going to assign some links. Let's do an href, and I'm just going to put a hashtag here just to leave it empty because we really don't have an address there where that link is gonna direct the customers or the users to, right? So I'm going to copy this and whoops, hold on, leave me 1 second. Let's just say this is link 1. I'm going to copy the same links and I'll add just a couple of them here. So you can see an example. Let's add 5, 6. Let's add 6. Okay, and I'm gonna say this is link 2, this is link 3, this is link 4, link 5, and then finally this is link 6. Perfect, so let's hit save, going back to our body, hit refresh, and there you go. We have now 6 links. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is style my links, okay? So let me go back to our code. We're going to go to our style sheet. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is style my nav bar, okay? So let's use the same class, nav example. And to this nav example, I am going to set this up. The overflow is going to be hidden. Now I'm guessing you remember this class, right? If you don't, just go back to our previous chapters and you will find there the overflow property, or you can search at w3schools.com the properties that I'm going to use here. I'm pretty sure that I have explained all of them already, but if you don't remember, you can search in my playlist, the full CSS course playlist, these specific properties, or if not, you can go to W3 Schools again, okay, and check them out. So the overflow of this nav example is going to be hidden. Now I'm going to set up a background color. Okay, so the background color of our nav bar, we're going to set it up to black. Okay, let's just make it black just for the sakes of it. Okay, so now let's hit save. Let's see how this looks like. Let's hit refresh. Okay, looks horrible right now, but okay, let's just leave it like that for this example. Next thing we want to do is style all the links that we just added, right? So we're going to say nav example to all the links. Let me go ahead and give style. So we're going to make all the links float, and they're going to be floating to the left. First thing we're going to do. So if I hit save, okay, you see now the size is, well, the space between one another, it's a little bit more close because obviously I just made all of them float to the left. Okay, so the next thing is that I am going to change the display, and I'll block the display here. So there can be block as it says here. You see the element generates a block level box. So that's what that's going to do. Okay, then the next thing we're going to add here is a color, of course. Now if we put that in black, we're going to set the color to white, obviously, so that you can see this better. Then we're going to align the text. We're going to make the text alignment to the center, just so that, you know, it's a little bit more organized. Then we're going to give a padding. Let's give a padding of 10. All right, let's give 15 pixels, and let's make this one 17 pixels. Whoops. 1 sec. Okay, here, 17 pixels. Okay, there you go. And finally, let's set up the text decoration, and we are going to set it up to none. Okay, because we don't want that blue thing showing up when we click on the links. Okay, we don't want it to be highlighted in blue. So I'm gonna save all this information. Now we're gonna hit refresh, and yay, it looks a little bit better, you see. Now we're going to add another style, and it's that whenever I hover over each one of these links, it looks a little bit better. Okay, so let's do that. So to the nav example, to all the links, whenever we hover over them, we want to style them in the following way. We're going to apply a background color. The background color is going to be, let's choose this one, okay? Because, I don't know, looks kind of odd, so it's fine. Okay, and then the color, it's going to be, since that's a little bit bright, we're going to make this black. Okay, so that's it. So let me hit save here. Now we're going to hit refresh. And now when I hover over this, you see how it looks? Way better, right? Oh, this is looking good. Okay, awesome. So now let's go ahead and let's apply the media query to this. Because right now, if I resize the window, you see how nothing happens, nothing changes. I mean, it stays on top, all the links. And sometimes when you are on a cell phone, you know, sometimes some websites will change all the items on top of the nav bar, not to be one floating next to each other, but they will go one on top, and then the other ones will show down, and then the other one down. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to add a media query, and let's use the media screen again, and let me create here a max width. Okay, now we're going to play with the max width. If the max width of our screen is, let's say, 600 pixels, Then we want to change the division, which is the nav example, okay, to all the nav example links, we want to make them float, but we're gonna set this to none because we don't want them all arranged to the left. Okay, so the float is going to be none. And the other thing that we want to do is assign a width of 100% this time of the computer screen, or the device screen in this case. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save. Now if I go ahead and hit refresh, right now you won't see anything because the screen max width has to be 600 pixels, okay, so that you can see the change applied. So let's go ahead and resize the window. If we make it thinner and thinner and thinner, and we get to this point, you see how now this is changing? Now you see all the links, all of them, rearranged in a different position. And this is something that you are going to probably want to do if you are designing a website, and that website is also going to have a cell phone view, as an example, right? You want this look good in a cell phone as well. Now, I'm not saying that mine looks amazing right now, because there are a couple of more things I could do with this. But for now, I hope that this example helps you out so that you can go ahead and actually play around with media queries on your own. Okay, so that's all I have to share with you guys for today. I hope that you have learned a lot. Remember to practice, because if you are just watching my video tutorials and you are not practicing, you are not trying to create your own projects, your own websites, you're not going to actually be learning, okay? So it's important for you to practice, because practice is what's going to make you better. Okay, so that's it for today, everybody. If you have questions, remember you can always leave them in the comment section below, and I will reply as soon as I can. Also, if you like this video, remember to leave me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, do not forget to subscribe to it, okay? Because you are going to be learning a lot with my tutorials. And remember that you can always ask Lixi. Bye everyone, and see you again in the next episode.